Welcome back to Eye on South Asia. So Sunil, what's our next story?
Continuing with Pakistan, the last time again we talked about President Zardari, who has been in Dubai, and there were all kinds of mixed reports, possible coup, his ouster, his health, his stroke, a heart attack. Finally, President Zardari has been discharged from the Dubai hospital and he has moved to his residence on December 14th.
But he's still in Dubai, correct?
He's still in Dubai, of course, because he's under observation. But he's been discharged from the hospital and he's very calm. They don't see any reasons to be overly alarmed about it. They said there was a little kind of numbness and twitching in his left arm and he lost a little bit of consciousness, but that doesn't mean that he had an attack or he had a stroke. But the signs were something that could have led to it.
Right.
In the meantime, the Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani from Pakistan told BBC in an interview which is published on their website last week that he's making a rapid progress in the hospital, but he needs a rest for a few more weeks, so he should be all right. And he said there was no way to believe, or he clarified there was no stroke, and there was no reason for anybody to guess that the military is here to ouster the president of Pakistan, Mr. Zardari. So it seems now things are coming back to in its shape. Of course, Zardari continues to suffer from his issues on diabetes and blood pressure, but I think this is bringing some kind of sanity into this kind of turmoil that was created over
hopefully he'll
there.
get back to his normal condition.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
In the meantime, in the neighboring city of Pakistan's very important part of the country, which is Karachi, there are 54 students. They were rescued by the local administration, and they raided Zakaria Madrasa, which is actually just on the border of Karachi in Pakistan. And these kids, the students actually, they are all between some 15 to 45 years old, and there were about 50 students who were rescued from there, and they were in a very bad shape, beaten, abused, in a bad shape.
And this torture was done by the clerics of the madrasa, correct?
Right, and nobody is able to figure it out why, because they said they were the people who are, these are the guys who are being trained to become future terrorists, so why would they be beaten them? But there is no clarity about it, but good thing is they have been rescued and they've been taken out.
Right.
So at least, here is 50 more misguided people who are possibly going to be on the right track.
Right. They're further investigating all of that.
Correct. But as for now, they are outside and hopefully on the right track.
Right.
Interesting, again, Nikki Haley, our own Nikki Haley in the South Carolina. Governor Nikki Haley, who was one time endorsed by the man in the running right now, Mitt Romney, who is the presidential hopeful from the Republican Party, who was very quick to endorse when it came to Nikki Haley when she was contesting for governor position. Now she's kind of
returning the favor a little bit.
And she's been very clear after talking to all the other candidates, assessing them, and she's come and said that I think I want to endorse the man. This is Mitt Romney. And the reason she believes is that, I want someone who is not a part of the chaos in Washington, who is a little bit outside and who is constantly thinking about, how to create jobs and how to turn around the economy, how to, stop spending.
Right.
So she thinks that he is the one candidate that Barack Obama, will be taking on.
Right.
And there is a good opportunity that this guy may be the man who can kind of run for his money to Mr. Obama.
And she's actually said that Governor Romney is one candidate that President Barack Obama consistently tries to hit and get out of the way. So implying that, he is the front runner of...
He certainly is. And now also the timing is very important, Bhavna. January 21st is the primary in South Carolina, which is a very important state for Republicans.
Right.
And she wants Mitt Romney to win there and cruise forward confidently, which will make a difference to the race in the coming next year.
And she's a very much sought after endorsement also for him.
Yes. Her endorsement obviously makes a difference because she's done very well for herself, and like I said, South Carolina remains a very important, even though tiny state for Republicans, but a very important state.
Yeah.
Very strange. I'm sure you are following this too. The devaluation of rupee against dollars. Never heard. I've been here in this country for almost now 25 years. Never thought, never imagined when I came here it was 13 rupees to a dollar. And in last 6 months, since July when it was at the highest, 44 rupees for a dollar, it has come down to 54 rupees for a dollar.
That and also they see no sign of it gaining either.
In fact, they are saying that it can go further down till March, and this is going to hurt. So everybody needs to revisit their plans of investment in and out, and because it hurts such kind of devaluation, and everybody
all the foreign investments really
exactly
are re-examining.
So I think the government of India is very concerned about it, and they're trying to figure out what should be done to hold it. They did some moves last week, but nothing has made a difference. It was 52, I think, last week, 52.5. It's already at 54.
It's dropped further.
We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, you and I feel good because when we go to India,
we have more purchasing power.
But when you look at the country and its import-export policy, it impacts them very badly.
Yeah, overall it's not a good thing.
Moving to the next story, Bhavna, about the New Jersey doctors charging the supposed to be kickbacks.
Right, we actually had the 5 Indian American doctors, and they in New Jersey have been accused of taking bribes for referring patients to a medical testing facility.
Yeah, this is in the Orange County.
And that facility has been head by also an Indian American. It's Chirag Patel.
And he's not a doctor though.
No, he's just the executive director of the Orange Community MRI and that testing facility.
And I think there are about 14 healthcare practitioners there were arrested last week. Some of them are very prominently known and are known to us also in the community. They from different parts of the state, unfortunately, and they have been picked up because what they used to do is they would administer tests which were not necessarily required by the innocent patients.
Right.
And they are on Medicare, Medicaid programs. So they would send it to their most favored diagnostic lab, and they would get kickbacks from $200 to $5,000 from such facility.
Yeah, that adds up. And initially, Patel, according to reports, he was said to say he was just looking to increase the volume of ultrasounds referred to his place. In the end, it blew up to MRIs, CAT scans, different kinds of x-rays and all this stuff. So
and all these people were arrested last week, and then they were obviously let go on bail, which is almost close to $1 million on an average per person.
Yeah.
But this is going to hurt very badly because this case is going to go further. There was a huge trap set up to get these kind of people or these people, and it's going to be a battle for them to figure it out how to get out of this mess. Bhavna, the Chicago psychiatrist that we've been following the story on, and his name is Bachu, and he is been charged and actually now clearly acknowledged his problems and mistakes, or the charge that is on him. A 15-year-old girl from Massachusetts, western part of the Massachusetts, he lured her on the net. He was courting her, giving her wrong ideas, and
he was essentially lying about his age and grooming his victims, really, and just luring them, buying them expensive gifts, and in the end using them for poor sexual conduct and relations and stuff like that. But
and this is a young kid, 15-year-old, which is below the
legal age,
and so this is a very serious offense that he's charged with, and I am sure Bachu, who has pleaded guilty to multiple charges relating to the transporting of minor and traveling across the state, for the illicit sex. But his lawyer kind of played games here because he happens to be from one particular community, and he said they are allowed to marry very young girls also. So here he was trying to figure out a girl who will be young enough for him to marry, but that's all crap. It was completely denied.
They were making a cultural argument saying that this is allowed in my country and my culture, so I'm essentially not guilty because of that.
I mean, think about it. We are culturally one of the richest communities, and here is somebody using a cultural defense to get out of a mess that he's created for himself.
Yeah, but the court didn't buy it. They completely rejected that cultural defense.
Yeah, we'll be following this story because I think this coming week the sentence is about to be made, and let's see what he gets.
Right, exactly.
On the one side, you have such kind of difficult characters who create such bad name for our community, illegal charging, illegal sex with the minors and whatnot. And on the other hand, we have our own Ravi Batra, who is the professor of business law at Pace University and a very, very respected Manhattan attorney. Every other week you have him in the stories, being there, being appointed here, getting into Nassau County as an advisor. He has been appointed as a commissioner for JCOPE. And JCOPE is essentially the Joint Commission on Public Ethics. This was the mandate that the new governor, Andrew Cuomo, took. So they have appointed this first and the only Indian American to such a prestigious body, which is bipartisan and is also independent. And Ravi Batra is one of the commissioners who have been appointed to this commission, and they'll be responsible for Public Integrity Reforms Act of 2011, which include reforms that create unprecedented transparency, require strict disclosure, and increase penalties for ethic violations.
So he's basically a corruption monitor.
Yes,
for the
that's
system.
what it is.
Yeah.
And let's get him on the phone.
Sure.
Congratulations, Ravi. This is again unprecedented for your appointment to the JCOPE, a bipartisan body appointed by Governor Cuomo, and you're the first Indian to be one of the 14-member commissioners to be on it. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, buddy. But this is really a huge achievement for the leaders of New York that they have embarked on making New York, as the governor says, back to being an empire state. So I think it's a matter of pride for all New Yorkers.
Ravi, what is JCOPE? Tell us, what is JCOPE, Joint Commission of Public Ethics? What does it do? What is it going to do?
Well, JCOPE is a bold and noble step that, while it honors the constitutional separation of powers, but nevertheless it builds a bridge over the executive branch of government and the legislative branch of government, and permits this entity to discipline every member of the executive branch of government, which of course it always had. Even predecessor commissions had that ability. But for the first time, while honoring the separation of powers regime, it kind of enacts a balcony, if you will, on the legislative branch, where JCOPE cannot discipline members of the legislature. However, they can investigate them, and in appropriate cases, refer the matter to either a district attorney for prosecution or for ethical discipline to the Legislative Ethics Committee. So it is a huge thing. It enhances transparency in government like never before. So it's a bright new day in the state of New York, and it's landmark across the 50 states. You know, we are a republic that's over 200 years old, and this is the first time any state in the union has done something as bold as this.
Ravi, you refer to Thomas Jefferson, who at the birth of America spoke about sacred honor, and you compare that statement to this initiative by the young Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. Why?
Well, first of all, Governor Andrew Cuomo is not so young. He's certainly younger than me a little bit, but that only means I'm getting old. Governor Cuomo is blue blood to power.
Yep.
As you know, a 20-something, he was already well immersed in the appropriate uses of power. So he comes as a very seasoned statesman to the governor's mansion, and that is to the benefit of all New Yorkers. And you know, so the reason I reference Thomas Jefferson is because, frankly, I am disgusted by the subprime mortgage securitization mess that brought not only our economy to the greatest recession ever, but also brought the global economy to its knees and has sent the American dream reeling. So Thomas Jefferson, when he wrote the Declaration of Independence, and every signor who signed it, including John Hancock, they pledged their life, liberty, and sacred honor. Now, it was in that order. You know, life was less precious than property, and property was less precious than sacred honor. Because you see, life you cannot bequeath. When I die, I'm dead. But property I may own, I can still give it to my, you know, those who inherit from me,
Right.
if I so choose. But sacred honor is the most precious of all things human. And I think it's time that if we want to resurrect the American dream, we really have to denigrate greed that Wall Street, the movie, you know, the original one and so on, that whole culture has made into stardom, and we need to bring honor back. And we need to embarrass those people who do wrong with shame.
Very good. Ravi, I know you have a challenge at hand because most of the people on the executive side as well as on the legislative branches are known to you for years, and some of them your friends, but it will be a tough job for to be in this commission while watching their shoulders if they go right and wrong. Once again, best wishes to you. Yep.
Well, you know, I appreciate, I accept more than your good wishes. I want your prayers and your viewers' prayers, but I will give you just a word of comfort. One cannot do this unless one knows the system.
True.
Because only if you know the system can you really tell what's right from wrong. You know, if a journalist is going to get a Pulitzer Prize, they don't bring anybody around the table other than other journalists. So having someone who was totally uninvolved in the political process of representative democracy would not allow an ethics commission to really function.
Ravi, you have said it well.
You need people to know what they're doing.
That is true, but it also needs courage, somebody like Ravi Batra. We wish you well. We wish you well, and we'll be following you all the way, year after year, on this commission, which is for 5 years. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you very much. Well, all I can tell you is I'm going to work hard and grind my nose to the ground. So,
okay, thank you.
Because there's a lot of learning for me to do.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure, Sunil. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that was Ravi Batra, and it's a tough position to be. It's a bipartisan commission where he has to, we talked about, look over the shoulders of these top people and their act and see if there is anything gray. Mm-hmm. And many of them are known to him as friends, but that's a job he has to do.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate Mr. Batra's time in speaking with us. And with that, we're going to take another short break.
Sure.
We'll be right back on Eye on South Asia.